My name is Logan Nicoll. I am the current state representative for the Rutland-Windsor-2, which is Ludlow, Mount Holly, and Shrewsbury. And I'm running for what would be my second term, currently unopposed. Um, Very grateful for the opportunity last time to serve and hoping to continue doing a lot of what I did this last term, uh, for the next 2 years. Um, I have served, for the last 2 years, I served on the House Human Services Committee, which I really enjoyed the work. We did a lot of work this past session for the first year on childcare and on women's reproductive rights. And then just this past year, obviously, we were doing a lot related to the COVID crisis and making sure that child cares had the supports they need to get through the crisis. Um, and reviewing a lot of the budgetary work and making sure that we had money in the right places um, for Vermonters to survive the crisis and get through. So yeah, I'm hoping to serve again, hoping to go back to that same committee. You serve on committees at the behest of the speaker, and so I would hope to go back to my committee. But I think what I learned in my first term is just that it doesn't really, like, your committee dictates the work that you do, but there is always something going on in every committee that is really interesting to you, and it can be challenging to follow them all at the same time, but I really do try to spend a lot of time keeping track of what's going on in other committees, because there's always some bill or some issue working through that's really important, for me personally and for our district and, for the town. I'm from Ludlow, grew up here, born and raised here. I went to UVM for college, and then I came home, and I've been living in an apartment, in the same house as my parents, and been rebuilding that with them, and trying to renovate. I got married 4 years ago now. My wife and I are expecting our first child in December. Very excited about that. I feel somewhat, I'm trying not to take it for granted that I'm running unopposed this year, and I have been doing a lot of work around the house in lieu of campaigning as much as I probably would have been. Obviously, it's hard to campaign anyway right now with the door knocking that I really relied on last cycle. But I do hope to be, at least getting outside and doing sign waves in the lead up to the election, just making sure people can see my face out on the street. I know the senators have been doing that as well, and I like to do some events with them at least as much as possible. One of the main reasons that I wanted to run, and one of the reasons that I first got into this, was that I felt like it's hard to live here. It's hard to be here. It's hard to, raise a family, and I'm starting to do that now. And so I wanted to make sure that the state had that kind of voice, and make sure that, in the chamber there was that representation from a younger Vermonter who's, trying to get by and, sometimes struggling to get by. I think I do bring that voice to the chamber. I am grateful that there are more my class, my incoming class of other representatives was one of the younger, larger, new classes that there has been. And so there are a lot of younger representatives than me and other, young Vermonters, which is really great to see. And, we are a substantial bloc that, doesn't always vote strictly on party lines, and we're very, open to the conversations about how we can make Vermont a better place to, survive and live, work, and play. And so that's really important to me, just to represent that voice and to represent, younger Vermonters who are trying to stay here, trying not to move to, Boston or New York. I think it's obviously every election is important, and I'm glad to see that so many people have already voted You should have gotten a ballot in the mail, but you can always just go down to your, the town clerk's office and, get a ballot there, and you can vote anytime. Even right now, you can go down to the town clerk and vote today, or you can continue to vote on election day if that's how you like to do it. Um, I like to vote early because I like to spend election day in one of the other towns. I'll probably spend most of my election day in Mount Holly and Shrewsbury, just making sure that I can stay a safe distance and wave to people and say hi. Um, but I know my parents, they really they love election day. They love to go vote on election day, and just the process of, being in the booth and putting your ballot in the counter. Um, they really like that. So, however you like to do it. I think it's important to vote. Um, and I think I've said before, I don't, I like to ask people for your vote. I think I do a good job. I hope that you think I do a good job, but more important than anything is just to go vote. If whoever you want to vote for, vote, 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 vote.